Okay, so I will explain how to search for scientific journals using database and AI tools. For the first step, when searching for journals using a database, is to type the topic into the database that has been provisionally selected. Now I'm using a PubMed to search for the journal I want. And we type the topic. I already copied and then click search. Okay, on the left side, you can select the publication year you want. I choose last 5 years and choose free full text. And then here, the journal we got, so many journal we got. And then I'm choosing this one because it discusses a topic related to my research. And in my opinion, it matched what I'm looking for. And then once you've done, click the title and you'll be taken to the next step. Okay, right here. This is the abstract, and then for the full text, click this link DOI, and then we go to the next step again. Okay, because it's loading, I already download this file, and this is the file that we get from the database. So this is the abstract. This is about evaluating the accessibility of public service facilities to tourists and residents in island destination. It's about evidence from the Shanghai country. It's from China. Okay, that's how we got a scientific journal from the database. And now let's move to search using AI assistants. Right now, I'm gonna use Consensus as my AI tool to find the journal that I need. The first step is type a prompt that matches the topic we're looking for. Okay, I already copied it. And then we click enter and just wait for the result. Okay, once you're done, a variety of journal references related to our topic will appear. If we look at the AI search result, they appear similar to manual search using a database, except that some journals cannot be accessed or can be considered unreal. Mm, okay, let's refine. Okay, after we're looking for the journal, I choose this. Okay, we copy the title to check the original source of that journal. Okay, there. It turns out that one of the journals I choose has an original source. So, okay, we wait. Okay, this is, we click view PDF, and here we can use this journal for future analysis, for further analysis. Is the abstract. Okay, that's how I searching the journal from AI. Okay, so let's review our journal. For the first, the identity. For the title is Barriers to Healthcare Access Among U.S. Adults with Mental Health Challenges, a Population-Based Study. For the writer, there are Nicholas C. Combs. We had E. Merriweather, James Carini, and Sophia are newcomer. And for the name of journal is SSM Population Health, and for the year 2021, and for the volume is 50. Okay. For the purpose is right here. This This is what the purpose of this study is to examine the extent of the impact of disparities in access to healthcare on population facing various mental health to challenges, particularly since access to healthcare in the US is a critical public health issue. And, this study employs a cross-sectional study was conducted with data from the 2017 to 2018 National Health Interview Survey. And then this NHIS is a principal source of information on the health of the civilian, non-institutionalized population of the U.S., overseen by the National Center for Health Statistics at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The in-person survey is administered annually to approximately 35,000 households across the U.S. and records basic demographic, health, and disability information for each household member. And then this is the result of the study show that respondents with mental health challenges, particularly those experiencing severe psychological distress, and face the highest level of barriers across all measured categories compared to those without psychological distress. For the inclusion, mhm, okay, this is the inclusion. The most common barrier to accessing healthcare service in the US relates to affordability. Mental health challenges are more frequently reported when an individual reports any barrier to accessing healthcare service. This study emphasizes the need for ongoing monitoring of disparities in healthcare access among population with mental health challenges and the importance of considering all five dimensions of access, like affordability, availability, approachability, acceptability, and appropriateness in public policy. So, um, for the strength of the study is that it does not focus on a single aspect of access, but evaluate eight distinct barriers spanning the dimension of affordability, availability, and approachability. The data were drawn from the National Health Interview Survey, which is the primary source of information of the health of the non-institutionalized U.S. civilian population. And then for the limitation of the study is that despite using a multidimensional approach, it cannot measure the dimensions of acceptability and appropriateness due to the absence of relevant survey items in the NHIS and data rely on respondent honestly, which may be influenced by reluctance to report unwanted psychological distress. Additionally, the researchers use publicly available NHIS records that do not include participants' geographic characteristics, such as urban to rural classification. So, geographic determinants of healthcare access could not be explored. So, why is this journal relevant to epidemiology or public health? Because access to healthcare in the United States or US is explicitly recognized as a public health issue, given that many residents lack of physical and financial resources to obtain the service they need. This study highlights how these barriers to access impact long-term health outcomes, early disease detection, and life expectancy. Um, its its epidemiological relevance is reinforced by the use of data from the National Health Interview Survey, which is the primary source of information on the health of the civilian population in the US. This data allows researchers to conduct robust statistical analysis to identify risk factors and protective factors associated with the lack of routine care. Okay, for the last video, it's about short reflection. In my opinion, which is more effective for searching scientific literature, journal database, or AI. In my opinion, it's easier to find or to search for literature using AI. Why? Because all we have to do is type in a prompt related to our topic, and the system provides a substantial number of journal results, making it easier for us to find the literature we need and save time. Okay, next question is, what are the strength and weakness of each approach? In my experience, the strength of a database is that manual searching gives researcher full control. We can determine the keywords ourselves, select the most relevant articles, and assess the quality of the search directly. This makes search results typically more specific and tailored to the research needs. However, this method also has some limitation. Manual searching tends to be time-consuming and labor-intensive, especially when the volume of available literature is vast. Meanwhile, using AI makes the search process much faster and more efficient. AI can filter through thousands of articles in a short time and immediately display the most relevant ones. However, AI also has some limitation that need to be considered. The drawbacks are number one, accuracy is not always guaranteed. AI may misinterpret or misrepresent the content of a journal. And the second, risk of hallucination, maybe incorrect information or information without a source. And the last, source may not be transparent unless we have to do the double check. Okay, the last question is, what tips would you like to share with your friends about effective literature searches? Okay, use specific keywords and have synonyms ready so that your search results are broader but still relevant. Use reliable database, employ Boolean operator, pay attention to the publication year to avoid misinterpreting theories, and then we have to read journal abstracts. And finally, evaluate the quality of the source. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.